Hello and welcome to Pony 411. This is episode 101 for the week of April 26th.
It's all about the basics.
Yep, 101. So yeah, we have, as you can guess, another episode to talk about, a whole bunch of news, and a little something special.
Yes, two something specials maybe.
Two something specials. So, I am Alca7raz, and with me today is Nemesis Prime.
Hi.
And 4-String.
Hello, hello.
Oh,
You thought you got rid of me, but you didn't.
4-String. I thought I killed you.
You did.
Oh,
Are you a ghost
But
now?
I came back.
zombie ghosts leave this place.
I'm a zombie ghost. I couldn't be left when there was still new horse in the world. I couldn't stay dead.
Your unfinished business.
There's unfinished business. Y'all got to like 100 episodes, and I'm like, all right.
I gotta make sure to show up after.
Our 100th
Exactly. episode
summoned you back from the other world.
I know. I saw it. I got an email, and I'm like, on my like ghost email, and I'm just like, all right, well, here we go. This is the dumbest joke I've ever made. Wow.
We make lots of those.
We do. We're good at that. So yeah.
I missed you.
Yes, you do.
I've never talked to you before.
You're a third wheel.
Yes, I've always been the third wheel.
Nah, I'll be the third wheel tonight because I won't know what's going on half the time. It's all good.
Horses? What are those?
What are these pastel quines?
Nah, like you guys are gonna go through news here in a second and be like, "Who's that again?" What? I don't know. Why are there so many pony conventions?
God, yeah. So yeah, speaking of news, we do have a bunch. So let's get to that. If you would like to follow along, listeners, you can. You can find all of our show notes at pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. Remember, that's LIBSYN. So go there, click the link for this episode, and follow along. So let's get started with convention news, and there is a bunch of it. First off, Nightmare Nights Dallas has announced that tickets are now on sale. Vendor applications are also now open, and Marie Kendricks will be in attendance.
That's Sonata, if you forgot.
And Gilda,
Yeah, and Gilda.
though we haven't seen her in quite some time. BronyCon has announced that both M.A. Larson and John Delancey will be in attendance.
Yeah.
So yeah,
John DeLance is making quite the
come back.
con appearance this year.
Yeah, he's making a comeback to the con circuit. Lee Takar will be attending Sea Brony's West Coast Cruise event. So if you're in that area, there you go.
Go on a cruise.
Is
With a bunch of
that's
other
actually
ponies.
on a cruise.
Yeah, it's really a cruise.
That's amazing.
Really a cruise.
That's
There's
just
two of them.
wonderful. That's great. It's wonderful.
Yep, the sea bronies.
Yep,
The
so
sea bronies.
the sea serpent is returning to the sea.
Shoo, shoo, shoo,
Uh-huh.
doo.
Wasn't actually my joke. Someone else made that joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're just stealing
I'm
jokes now.
I'm reusing it.
Ah,
I'm
I
not
see.
taking credit for them. They're not mine.
Nothing is new ever. Everything is recycled.
Yeah.
Just remember that in life.
Yes.
Registration for this year's Ponyville Cider Fest is now live.
The adult pony
The
convention.
adult, yes.
Oh, is it?
Yes, 21
Yes.
and older.
There's a reason they call it Cider Fest. It is hard
Right up your
cider.
alley, 4-String.
So yeah,
No.
that's
No, that's interesting because I've worked with TrotCon for a while now, and there was a rumor going around our first year in 2012 that we were the adult convention, and that got us a lot of like flack, even
No,
though we
it's-
weren't. We were
yeah.
not the adult. So it's very interesting that this is now actually for real happening. Like there's
Yep.
a real one actually doing it, and people seem cool with that.
yeah, this
That's
is,
good.
I think
the
this is the
second time.
second year. The first year went off. I think it was, they weren't trying to be a convention with some adult things in it. This is specifically, no, we intend this to be 21 plus, so don't even bother with anything under that.
How
But
does how does Flameheart Kindle feel about this?
I'd
I'm
imagine
not-
he's not happy.
I'm pretty sure he's not. I vaguely remember seeing some stuff like that. Some responses on that one. Yeah. He's not the only one, though. I've seen a
Yeah.
whole bunch of other people going, but they have this, you shouldn't support them because of this. And I go, well, yeah.
Then
the
don't
beer
support
flow.
us.
Let the
Shrug.
beer flow.
Moving on. Galacon is looking for contributions to its art gallery. So yeah, if you want to submit something.
Artists. Take note.
Yep, it'll get displayed up on the halls and stuff like that. Another pony convention in California has cropped up, this time in San Diego. The Pacific Pony Con will be taking place January 8th through 10th, 2016 at the Kona Kai Resort. Additionally, Andrea Libman will be there.
That's 3 for California alone.
3 that I can think of off the top of my head. It's a big state.
That has
I guess
no
I
water.
can pull it off. Brony Can has announced Peter New and Brenda Critchlow. And Everfree Northwest has a few announcements. First off, they're running a Letters to Discord project. So, if you want to send a letter to John Delancey, you can do that, and you don't have to be in attendance. You can email it to him. Deadline for that is May 19th, so get them in before that.
Asking me obscure stuff you shouldn't even know the answer to. That always goes over well, right?
Always goes over well. Ad space is available for purchase in the Everfree Northwest Con book, so if you have like services or whatnot you want to advertise for, there you go. More details in the link in the show notes that you should be reading. They've also announced a bunch of community gaming guests, including Harrison Hotchkids of Buck Legacy, Newbie Spud of Friendship is Dragons, the Gaming Colts, who did the Alicorn Princess Blast, Twilight Sparkle Secrets Shipfic folder, and Legends of Equestria. all be at Everfree Northwest. And lastly, they've announced Kelly Sheridan will be in attendance.
Yeah, voice of Starlight Glimmer.
Yep. Make us all equal.
Mandatory.
Mandatory equality. In fandom news, the Dragon update for the Gameloft Pony game is out, for those of you who are still playing.
Oh, that reminds me of something else. I just remembered something else about the Gameloft game. They recently announced they have to drop their social aspect to comply with new laws regarding children and social media.
You mean the social thing that never really worked to begin with?
Yeah, they had to completely drop that until they reconfigure that.
Huh. Might actually work when they're done. I never got that thing to work right.
Yeah.
Anyway, the platforming Nightfall pony game has been updated and now includes Sakura. Friendship is Epic has released a gameplay trailer, and this is the rather high
Side-scrolling beat 'em up.
quality. Yeah, it's really cool actually.
Yeah. Co-op.
Last bit of fandom news and not good ones. There's been a scandal. Draw Ponies has been caught tracing show assets
Yes.
and selling the works from them.
Yes. And, well, it wasn't surprising to me that he traced stuff. I've seen it, and it's like, yeah, it's traced.
It looks obvious.
But I didn't realize he was selling some of it. And let's just say people were upset, and then a couple of days of like deleting posts and criticism and being quiet, all of a sudden he comes out and says, "I'm sorry about this. I didn't," then tries to claim that he didn't trace all of it, and then people say, "Yes, you did trace that." And yeah, it's just basically damage is done. He's pretty much, as an artist, he's done.
Pretty much.
No one's going to trust him ever again. If he ever tries to make an actual career out of this, people are going to say, "Oh, you traced this stuff. Well, why should we hire you then?" So, yeah, big nasty scandal.
Yeah, not good.
Blew up right after we recorded last week.
Mm-hmm. That's all about that. Moving on to merchandise news. A Pony Mania fashion style Daring Do brushable was found on eBay. So, that's a bit interesting. Power Pony's Twilight and Dash fashion style brushables have also appeared on eBay. The listing for the book Applejack and Secret Diary Switcheroo on Amazon has been updated and now has a synopsis. It is as follows. When Applejack starts a secret diary to record all her hard work at Sweet Apple Acres, she ends up writing whenever her friends annoy her. Soon Applejack's diary is more like a list of complaints. And when the book falls in the wrong hooves, Applejack finds herself in a real pickle.
So it's like Harriet the Spy then.
Interesting. The listing for the book Fluttershy and the Furry Friends Fair has also been updated with a synopsis.
Uh-oh.
Fluttershy can't believe it when her pet bunny Angel wants her to enter the Furry Friends Fair herding contest.
Don't do it.
A bunny can't herd cows and sheep, can it? When Angel's first practice goes disastrously wrong, Fluttershy is too afraid of failure to continue. Fluttershy can't bear to let her pet down, but she doesn't want to compete either. Can her pony friends help Fluttershy overcome her fears?
Spoiler alert, they probably do.
They probably do.
Can
I'm
she-
trying not to make another joke out of that, but
Oh, there's so
Trying not
many. How do
to.
you even?
So many.
I know. But I'm bad at making jokes, and if I try, it'll be horrible. If one of you guys want a joke, that's fine.
They're right. They're already there. They're in the synopsis. Don't even
Yeah, the jokes are there. Just make them up in your head.
tweet your best ones to @pony411 on Twitter.
Please.
Please, we want to see these. In comic news, IDW has released an extended preview for Fiendship is Magic number 5. That's the last of the Fiendships.
Yes, the Chrysalis issue.
So if you like reading previews and spoiling it for yourself, go read it.
Only the first few pages come on.
Whatever. Issue 32 of the main comic series has also been announced.
Mm-hmm.
The title for this comic is Night of the Living Apples, Part 1. The synopsis is as follows. Something sinister is happening at Sweet Apple Acres. Bad apples have come alive and determined to take over all of Ponyville.
It looks like it's going to be Attack of the Killer Tomatoes parody,
Even the cover
which
shows it.
is like, oh my god.
Are they
That's
really
awesome.
going to do that?
But the worry is it might also accidentally kind of retread bats.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, but I'm still at least interested in that
Yeah.
based
Does
on
sound
the
interesting.
cover alone.
Issue 18 of the Friends Forever series has also been announced, and this is the Dash and Fluttershy episode. Synopsis is as follows. Dash is excited to go to the Cloudsdale school reunion, but Fluttershy is harboring some bad memories and fears.
Leakfish head explode.
Leakfish exploded. Our last bit of news, and it is potentially spoilery, so if you don't want spoilers of any kind,
Bail.
bail. A
Hey, Bail?
potentially major spoiler has appeared in the MLP trading card game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting. Was it Nightmare's Star? Solar Flare?
Mm-hmm.
It is a nightmare version of Celestia.
Indeed.
Now, this trading card game has revealed a whole bunch of stuff from Season 5 that we're seeing, and so far they haven't done anything non-canon, so this is very, very interesting.
Indeed.
No clue if it's actually going to happen or where it's going to happen, but that is a thing.
Been a fan thing, and now might be a canon thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Solar Flare has been heavy in fandom.
Although apparently
fandom stuff.
they're calling her Nightmare Star.
Yeah, but they say Solar Flare in there
Yeah,
too.
probably
so
just
it's
make
like,
sure everyone knows what they're talking about.
yeah. So that is definitely interesting. And that is also the news.
In the end. All of it.
All of it. Everything is over. No, we had another episode of Ponies to talk about. So yes. The episode that just came out was called Tanks for the Memories, and it's Rainbow Dash.
Bad pun.
A quick synopsis. A quick overview of what happened. Ponyville is preparing for winter, and everyone's getting all prepped, and Rainbow Dash is all excited because she's going to spend her first winter with Tank. And then Tank's getting all sleepy, and Rainbow Dash is wondering what's going on,
Because
and
it's hibernation.
takes it to Fluttershy, and Fluttershy, he's fine, he's just going into hibernation, and Rainbow starts freaking out because doesn't want
Doesn't
him
want
to
that.
go into hibernation because he won't be able to spend time with him. So she decides, we're gonna stop winter.
Gonna stop time. Wait. No.
No, not quite, but close. So she tries and tries to hold back winter and the other ponies from bringing in winter, and it's not working. It's not working at all. So she decides she's going to stop it at the source and goes to the Cloudsdale Weather Factory and tries to sabotage it just enough to stop winter. And things go badly.
Or well,
Depending on your point of view.
basically does the complete opposite.
Yeah, she brings in a sudden storm of winter and, all over the place.
Yep.
And then, realizing that she can't stop winter, she goes into a depressive mode and
Cries
cries a
a
lot.
lot. And then accepts it.
And then comes to acceptance with the help of her friends.
And she's fine.
Yeah,
The end.
the end. So, yeah, I, for one,
Oh, well, here we go.
well, let's just say I'm having to keep
Oh
myself
god, I'm
from
surrounded by
stewing.
Rainbow Dash fans. No!
I'm having to keep myself from just starting to squee a lot. This was a great episode. I absolutely loved it. Seeing softer side of Dash like that is just something I've been waiting to see for a very long time.
I have two for different reasons.
it was great to finally see it. Also, we had a song. We had the
big
solo, Rainbow Dash's solo song that we've been told about for quite some time now. And I think so far, that's the best song. Best song of this season, at least. Of course, we don't have very many songs anyway, but still, I think that's going to be really, really hard to top.
They'll top it.
We'll see. We'll see. Remember, you have to top my bias as well.
No. I don't have to do anything like that. It just sounds wrong.
So yeah, what did you guys think of it?
Well, yes, it was actually a great episode. And it's another one of those, oh, hey, I'm actually caught off guard because it's actually a good Dash episode. And yeah, here comes the faces. But yes, this was actually a great episode overall. Actually, I think it's one of the best of the season so far. Probably not quite to the point of the premiere, but still really good in its own right. And the song was actually, yes, it was actually really good. I think there are better songs for previous seasons, but this is so far the strongest showing of an admittedly so-so musical side. Four string.
My turn. All right. Well, I'll do my best not to ramble.
Too late.
That's fine.
This was my thing. I want to point out first, since I've been here, I've decided that the new actual best pony is Applejack.
Four string, I love you.
Just want to point that out first before I move on.
I love you, Four string.
I love you too. I don't know. This episode I wanted to like a lot more than I did, but it had a lot of really good highs for me, and it had a lot of lows.
Oh.
And I guess I'll get into it. The lows for me, what I don't like is when this show characterizes Rainbow Dash, because she is still a character I really enjoy, in the way that kind of the way she was in this episode, which I felt was just a little. I don't know if it was necessarily out of character, but it definitely got a little too like, oh, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't do this or that. Like, I understand that she can be brash and she can be, kind of disregard her friends sometimes, but to this extent, I don't know. It felt like the first like half of the episode, I'm like, really?
Are you talking about the like yelling at her friends?
Yeah, there was a lot of just like, and don't get me wrong, I thought some of it was funny. When she was like yelling, and they're just like, "Oh, stop yelling! I'm not yelling," that or whatever the line was. That was kind of funny, but like that part was just, I'm like, I don't want to have to cringe. I don't like cringing. I watch enough TV shows like The Office, for instance, where there's plenty of cringing going on the entire episode. I don't really want that in my cartoons. I'm just like, oh no, come on, be good, be a decent person again. But I think it ended good. I enjoyed how it ended. I enjoyed the extended cry scene, because that is of course my fetish. So I really enjoyed that part. But
oh wow,
okay, wow, all right then.
Wow, your face.
If that needs to get cut out, I apologize.
Nope, it's not going to cut out. I'm making sure that stays in.
Also, I have one more thing before I throw it back to you guys, and I can expand on some more things later. Mm-hmm. I am songed out on this show, and I used to love the songs. I thought Winter Wrap Up, when it came out, was like the best thing, the bee's knees, if you will.
I think a lot of people shared.
I think there were bees. Was there bees in that? I don't know. Anyway,
sure.
And even last season, what's the song called? Apples to the Core is my favorite song.
Yes.
However, no one of the songs this season has actually got me excited. Like, I hear a song now and I'm just like, ugh. And I don't know. Like, I thought the chorus of this song was pretty rad, but the verses were like, whatever. And like, I should be way more excited about a Rainbow Dash solo song than I was going in. And then coming out of it, I'm like, there's just been so many lately. And I'm just like, I felt like it used to be. And maybe this is just me thinking of the past in like a better light than it actually is. I felt like in the past, they were more spread out. So like when it did happen, it was so much cooler. It was more fun. You got like songs like Winter Wrap Up, Art of the Dress, whatever that came out, and it was like an event. And you're like, oh yeah, there was a new song. This is awesome, and everybody started learning it. And now I feel like I can't keep up with all the songs. I'm like, man, how am I going to learn all these songs? There's so many of them. Now, you guys might remember this better than I do. Has there been a song in every single episode so far this year?
No.
There has not. Okay, it feels to me like there has been.
3 out of 4. That's probably why.
3 out of 4.
The last one did not have a song.
Well, this is episode 5, but you can count
what I mean.
the premiere as a 2-parter as one episode.
You're right. Yeah, I guess the last one didn't.
Yeah,
it did have that little song that Applejack sings to.
That's kind of
short.
Yeah, that's a little short. Anyway, that's just my thinking. I'm like,
hey, it's enough to get remixes. I've already heard a couple remixes of that.
Well, yeah, the Brony musicians will lap it up, and that's great, and a lot of fans will too. And I like that. Don't get me wrong. I almost feel like I'm a little songed out. I want the magic to come back a little bit.
Well,
for me.
They've only announced there's only 10 songs left for the entire rest of the season over the, I guess, next 21 episodes. So
yeah,
they're shooting them out early. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I remember season 2. Everyone was like, "Where are the songs? Where are the songs?" And we finally got one with maybe the best pet win. And they're like, "Oh, there it is."
Yeah. And then season 3, we had that one episode with a ton of songs.
Well, there was the season 2 finale that had like 4 songs? It was 3 songs.
It was 3 songs.
Season 3 finale had a ton of songs too.
7 songs.
Yeah.
That was a whole musical.
Yeah, I'm cool with like musical episodes, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just like kind of like, okay, guys, back it up for a little bit. But it sounds like they're going to, so no complaints.
I think it's just because like so many fans are like, we like songs. We want more songs.
Yeah, we're big on songs in the fandom.
Well, I like that they're listening to the fans. If that's the case.
Sometimes.
There's something going on. Yeah, in some regards.
They're listening to what they need to listen to, I think. There's a lot of things that they really shouldn't listen to us on.
That's probably not inaccurate, but
yeah. I think my favorite part of this episode, though, was definitely the Abbott and Costello routine with the who's on first tile thing, like the open skies and clear skies. Like, that whole bit right there was just these 3 ponies we've never seen before. I love that bit.
That was hilarious.
That was the best part of the whole episode.
It felt very like kind of like New York construction worker to me in a way.
Yes.
Where they're just like, so they're talking about this, they're talking about, and I'm doing a horrible impression right now, as we do. And that was really funny. Like, I loved how it just kept going on and on. I'm like, man, you guys are really giving these guys some screen time here. Jesus.
I loved it.
Not that I'm complaining. I like it. Yeah. Like, that's why I love the first... obviously, I missed this episode we talked about it, but what I love about the season premiere was that there were so many characters who got other... We weren't just like focusing on the same like 6 characters like we usually kind of.
Well, you're gonna love the 9th episode then.
Oh,
ooh, I haven't looked yet, but
that's
the 9th episode. That's the 100th episode special.
Oh yeah,
and it's all background characters.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What was it? What was I thinking of? I also kind of like the crazy over the top stuff with the one who's breaking the weather factory. The Willy Wonka going through the tubes and everything.
That was great. And sort of Tank's fault, really.
Yeah, sort of. Well, mostly Dash's fault for
doing
this in the first place.
Dash's fault, but her original plan probably would have worked. Just drink the water. But then things got screwed up and it cascaded from there.
As these things tend to do.
And
kind of like this show, actually.
Yes.
The only thing I could think of in that scene, and like it's something I shouldn't be thinking about, but I'm just like, she like puts on the costume or whatever of the person, like a worker, in that thing, so as to not be discovered. And I'm like, but she lives in Cloudsdale. She's like probably the most famous like pony in Cloudsdale. How are they not going to know who that is? Oh man, that sure looks like Rainbow Dash right now, because there's literally no one else in this place that like has a rainbow.
She's wearing a uniform.
Exactly.
Yeah, she never wears.
It works with
Clark
clothes. Kent. All he has to do is put a pair of glasses on, and no one knows he's Superman.
I guess so. Yeah. I also thought it was cool to get the inside look at the factory inside, and it also another thing that got me thinking is, why on earth is Equestria unlike any other place in the world where they have to have ponies create seasons for themselves?
Because magic.
That is a good question. There's been lots of fan ideas on that one.
Because magic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's something that you could have thought about literally in the first season, but I'm just sitting here just like I'm like I've never really thought about this before, but like now I'm just sitting here like,
But why?
so like is this like Rockadoodles? Like if he doesn't crow, the sun doesn't come up? Like is this what's happening?
Dropping a Rockadoodle reference? Oh God,
Wow.
what are you doing?
Oh man, just taking it back to 1992.
Whatever.
That's actually something
I don't know
was-
why it's the first thing I thought of. But
Adequate pipe.
Yeah, that was actually something I was thinking of. It's like they control the weather, but do they control the rest of the climate? 'Cause, I mean, climate's controlled by a little bit more than just the weather, but it's a bit interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You call it
that's
climate
my
change.
thing.
I'm not sorry.
Good job.
Yeah. There's one other thing that I want to point out that kind of messes things up. They said that this is Dash and Tank's first winter together, but that
Yes.
kind of screws with the timeline a bit. That means it's only been less than a year since May the Best Pet win.
Yes, and after May the Best Pet win, there was a Hearthwarming Eve, which was in the winter.
Yeah, so it's like, wait a minute.
Obviously, what you do,
Hmm.
just put Hearthwarming Eve before May the Best Pet win.
Let's just say
Everyone wins.
Yeah, the episodes can't be in, chronological order according to their universe. Or some other weird things happen. That's a little bit interesting.
You just
Yeah.
gotta swap the episode order around. You're good.
There
You're
you
good.
go. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, man, has it really been that like? Have they not actually made it a whole year yet?
They're being weird about what the time is. It's like some people seem to think there's only been a year since the very first episode to season 4's premiere, and it's like, whoa, what?
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's also just weird, seeing an episode where they're like talking about winter and like changing from fall to winter when
Mhm.
like I'm looking outside and like it was dang fine out today. I don't know what it's like out there in Washington, but it was
Raining earlier.
It was raining. Well, it's always
It doesn't
raining.
know what it wants to be. We're getting, really bad days. And
We've
then
had this really kind of
great
actually
days.
cool cold winter, actually. Or not winter,
Okay.
cold spring, actually.
Yeah, it's been a really cold spring. Our winter was really mild.
Yeah, it was like actually kind of warm. It was like all getting warm, and then all of a sudden spring comes along and just temperature drops. We're like, what just happened?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Huh,
our
okay.
weather's been really weird out here.
It's the
Well, I
end
can
of time.
say, I can say New York City today was pretty nice.
Hmm.
It's finally actually becoming spring here. I was outside; it was wonderful, and I'm just sitting here like watching. Like I just came from outside before this. I was like at a cherry blossom festival actually, and like then I come inside, and then I'm just like. I'm watching an episode about winter.
I'm
There's
confused.
snow on the screen. This just, I feel like sometimes they've actually lined it up better than
Yeah.
this. But
I think this is
mean,
because they have a delayed premiere this time around.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I chalked it up to too.
But also another thing I want to say is the faces in this
the
episode.
faces.
Like Dash's like Grinch face when she was plotting was amazing.
Or her grunt
That's-
face later. I'm not
Yes.
angry.
Yes.
It was hilarious.
That's all I've seen on Twitter since I've watched the episode because I tried to stay off until I watched it.
Of course.
Everybody's just posting Dash reaction pics and stuff. That's it. And I'm just like, wow. I can't remember that being such a thing for a while. Like, there's obviously been episodes where there have been good reaction faces. I think this season in particular had some pretty good ones, but like so many in this one. It's been a constant stream. It's pretty great.
Reaction pic folder has expanded tenfold.
For real though, man.
Yeah, just my
Yeah.
favorite though is definitely the Grinch
The
face.
Grinch face. That was great.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
I was not expecting that.
Another thing I want to point out, we got to see the Running of the Leaves again.
Oh yeah, that.
They made
yes.
a reference back to Running of the Leaves, and that was kind of neat. Although Applejack wasn't involved from
Neither
what
was
I could
Dash.
see, and Dash was only there managing.
My running theory is they were banned from that one time because of that one time.
That's
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it. I think we would be remiss to not mention, I'm pretty sure this is M.A. Larson's fault.
Oh yes, that.
Winter is coming. They made a reference to Game of Thrones.
I'm fine with it.
It's
and
funny.
It's so like pronounced too.
It's like-
It's just like literal look at the camera. Oh my
Winter is
god.
It's coming. Yep,
Oh,
that's
boy.
Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Whether you hate it or love it, well, it's there. Deal.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that's the thing that M.A. Larson was saying that he takes full responsibility for. So.
AKA sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not. Yeah.
That was
So, yeah.
amazing. I haven't laughed so hard in like an episode in so long until that. then I laughed again, like almost harder later on when they're all crying and they're like Applejack cries on the inside.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
It's true.
I love that. I love that. I thought that whole scene was actually pretty funny.
It's amazing.
It was a feels train for
And
me.
him,
it was
it's
a
just like
serious
all
feels train
emotions.
for me.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just laughing because I'm a monster, I guess.
You are a
I
monster.
just felt like slightly uncomfortable. Like, wow, they're really going for it, aren't they? Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
It was a feels train for me.
Feels.
Yeah. I think
Great episode.
it was a great episode. Personally, for me, I know you said it's not yours, but it's personally my favorite of the season.
I just like the premiere just because of that whole creeping dread feeling of the whole thing.
This is right now my favorite.
It had some feels. It had some laughs. It was a good mix, I think, too.
Yes.
And yeah. That's
So,
fair.
all right, we are going to move on. We have a comic. Nemesis is going to talk about the Fiendship is Magic number 4.
Yes, this
So
is
take that away.
This is the Nightmare Moon issue, and as you know, all the Fiendship is Magic issues are about the origins and whatnot of all the villains, and this one is this takes place right after she got banished, which that's always been the great debate about Luna's banishment. Is like, is she dormant? Is she aware? This sort of. And this one goes along with she's aware, and she meets these creatures. Apparently, they're called Nyx or something.
Nyx.
Which is going to make some
Nyx.
people
Oh,
go,
boy.
Thanks, past sins.
Thank you.
But yeah, so she finds out these things create dreams for ponies, and she gets intrigued and she wants to use it for her own gain. And she's trying to, I guess, infiltrate Celestia's dream, and it first fails, but she finds a plan to succeed. And that's a kind of a shorter synopsis without going too spoilery. Overall, this is a kind of an odd issue. It's like not like last week's where it was kind of like, oh wow, this is a huge disappointment. But this one is like, I'm not sure how to feel. It's like this is gonna if this is decided to be like where this is what Nightmare Moon was. It's like this is gonna wreck a lot of people's, like, I guess, headcanon. But it's also gonna strengthen other people's. But it's kind of an interesting thing. This is like, I guess, an introduction of like Luna and the dream walking and stuff like that. It's like overall, it's like, I guess it's all right. I enjoyed it, I guess. It wasn't like the best one. I still think that's the somber issue of the Fiendship is Magic, but yeah, it's just a weird one in that sense.
Yeah, I'm going to say about the same thing. I wasn't entirely certain how to feel about it. It was all right. It's definitely readable. I would still recommend getting it. One thing, those creatures, the Nyx, is actually a reference back to the earlier main series comic when they all go to the moon.
Oh, yeah, that
Nightmare
too.
Rarity issue. Those are the same creatures. Because if you notice, stuff happens here. It's a reference back to that, and it sort of explains those things' origins.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot. This was written by Heather Newfer and was drawn by Tony Fleeks. This is probably one of Tony's better issues.
Yeah, I thought the art was pretty darn good.
Because he's very hit and miss, but this is probably definitely one of his better ones. I think it's actually better than the T-Rex one he did a couple weeks ago. So, yeah. Overall, I think it's worth the buy. Just, it's not the strongest, but it's nowhere near as bad as Sirens. So that's that. Go ahead and get it.
Yeah, I would say go ahead and get it.
Forstream can't comment.
Forstream can't comment on this.
Maybe
one.
I'll go get it. Maybe
Yeah,
I will
maybe
go
you
get
should.
it now.
You should get
It
it.
sounded good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's readable. It's definitely something to go get.
I'm really interested in the Luna backstory, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's all for the normal discussion topics, but we do have something a little special.
Yes.
Nemesis here did an interview.
Yeah.
So yeah, how about you talk about that?
I did an interview with Bpendragon. It's a nice, like, little interview about Everfree Northwest, how he got involved, and that just what's going to happen at the convention in a little over a month. So it's a good one. I think you guys will enjoy it. So here it goes. All right. Hello, listeners. I'm Nemesis, and I got an interview today, a special one. It's about Everfree Northwest, and joining me is Bpendragon, co-director of productions and social media staff for Reddit in particular. How you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Got a bit of a lazy day today, so.
Oh, I know that feel.
So yeah, you, of course, as I said, you're involved with Everfree, and that's coming up on May 29th to 31st, I believe?
Yes, the very last weekend in May, the weekend after Memorial Day.
Right. So yeah, as of when this interview goes up, it should be about a month, a little more than a month then, somewhere around there. So I hope you guys get your badges, and if you haven't, maybe this interview will help you convince you to get one.
Yeah, pre-reg closes in just like a couple of weeks here. So if you want your pre-reg, I would do that. Then we should have tickets available at the convention itself as well.
All right. So I guess start off with about you. Who are you exactly, and what is your role in particular in Everfree?
I am Bpendragon. My role is the co-director of productions and the social media staff. I am the one who runs the Everfree NW Reddit account. So if you see that one posting, it's probably me talking. And I often will forget to actually switch over to my account. So Pendragon the Great is also at times a proxy for that account. When it comes to the convention itself, at convention, I make sure that everything is set up for Pony Stock, our big concert. We make sure that all of the panels have the appropriate audio equipment, all the appropriate video equipment. I have a great staff. Leighton Logic is kind of like one of our secondaries, and he makes sure that all the panels get everything done. I'm there for people to talk to make sure that stuff gets done. I also will make sure, my main job is to make sure that things like Pony Stock go off without a hitch.
Yeah, I can imagine that can get a little hectic at times.
Oh yeah, it can.
I've been a little involved. I was actually helping recording a couple panels last year, so.
Yep.
So, I guess another question, not related to the convention itself, but kind of related. How did you get involved in MLP in the first place, in the fandom?
In the fandom, that is... Well, this is 2015, so that would have been almost exactly 4 years ago. 4 years and 4 years and 7 days ago, actually.
Wow.
4 years and a week. I was in a chat room for the Phineas and Ferb wiki on Wikia, and one of the guys posted a link. It was a clip from Best Night Ever. Best Night Ever had just aired a few days before, and it was Fluttershy's "You Are Going to Love Me" clip. And I was like, dude, this is Pony, my little, what is wrong with you? And he's like, no, give it a chance. It's like, okay, I'll watch the first episode. I watched the first episode, the second episode, and next thing I knew, I was halfway through the season, the sun was coming up, and I had finals the next day.
Oh man, I know that feeling.
Oh yeah.
I was around roughly the same time. I was right at the end of the first season.
Yeah, right. I was like within a week of the first season ending or so.
Yeah, so you were one of the early guys.
Relatively speaking, yeah. I've actually been working at Everfree Northwest since the beginning. 2012, when we were at the Marriott and the DoubleTree, the two hotel setup. I was AV at that time. I was running around running wires, and over the last few years, I've worked my way up, and now I've gotten the wonderful title of co-director.
Oh. So I'm guessing it's just you, when you got involved with Everfree itself, it was just like, hey, you want to help with the convention, or was it like that, or what?
It was a little bit like that. It started out. Everfree was announced right after Christmas, 2011, as a convention, and then Spring Break 2012 ended the same weekend as Emerald City Comic Con happened. I had already kind of gotten into kind of the Seattle area, Bronies group, and was talking around. And then while I was there, I met Bajati, who was the convention chair for that first year, and we talked about it. And he was really the one who convinced me. It's like, yeah, we're gonna need a lot of people. So you're in the area, you seem competent. Why don't you apply? I did, and that's how I got into it.
Okay, seems simple enough.
Fairly.
Yep. Yeah. I guess, okay, one last question just for you, but it's the obvious one. I think everyone gets asked doing these things.
Best pony.
Who's your favorite pony?
Oh, the problem is I have to choose. I mean,
yeah.
obviously, the pair of Twilight Sparkle and Sunset Shimmer is up there, and then Princess Luna. I mean, it's kind of those three, and then there's secondaries who always kind of like, depending on the episode and that pop up. I say overall, best pony would be Twilight Sparkle. Best princess before the season 3 finale would be Princess Luna. After the season 3 finale, I am not going to say anything because I cannot choose.
Okay. Okay, well, I can agree with the Twilight, definitely.
Fair enough.
You answered well. You did good. So, moving on to the convention itself, in your opinion, I guess what helps Everfree Northwest stand out from the other many pony cons?
I think partly what helps Everfree stand out is that we are the largest one on the West Coast. Really, when you look at a map of pony fans, you have the West Coast and you have the East Coast, and that really gets you your two big conventions. You've got Everfree Northwest and you've got BronyCon over in Baltimore now, I guess it is.
Right.
And that's part of it. We are also one of the oldest conventions, so we have the experience behind it to help push it to that next level. There are some things that are going to be happening at this year's convention. I can't say, but I think that it's going to be the best pony convention to ever happen.
Ooh.
I'm going to put my neck out on the line and say that I think that based on what I know about what's coming up this year, it's going to be one of the best pony conventions ever. And I want to building the hype indeed. I want to say it's definitely going to be the best Everfree Northwest ever, and I think we're gonna give BronyCon a run for their money.
Ooh, fisticuffs engaged, I guess. Wait, no, it's too friendly for that.
Too friendly for that. we love all conventions. We work closely with all the conventions. I mean, my co-director Eclipse, the other co-director of productions, runs productions for BabsCon. One of our staffers, Landon, ran BronyCon's productions last year, so we all work together.
All right. And I guess continuing along this line, one of the things that actually does help you set you apart is you have unlike on the other pony cons, oddly enough, you tend to focus on children and families a lot.
Oh yeah, that our goal is to be a family friendly. We've got a wonderful little. If you go to everfreenorthwest.com/about. We have a great article. We've given over $75,000 to $75,000 to Seattle Children's Hospital. Foals get front of the line privileges. It's great fun for all.
All right. So if you can't, I'm wondering if there's like any like thing you could do, like how did that decision come about? Like how do you say, okay, we're going to be family focused versus like, oh, we're going to be super focused on the adult part of the fandom?
I think that really it started even before I was staff at the first year. It was the goal has always been to be family friendly. I mean, My Little Pony, the target demographic is
little girls,
8 to 12-year-old girls. So we wanted to make sure that they did not feel like they were left out in this group of 1,200 grown men.
Right.
So it was a decision that was made even before I started working with the convention, and we have helped grow on that every year since.
Yeah, I've seen that every single time I go. Just all the little little kids just running around.
Oh yeah,
you don't see that very often in a lot of conventions, really.
No, and I think it also helps. Our venue helps with that. I'm going to be completely honest, I've not been to any other pony conventions, partly because I'm currently in Southwest Missouri for college and I can't get away to go to any. I was supposed to be at Babs this year, but the planes fell through. But I think part of it is the venue allows us to set aside areas specifically for the kids, the foals as we call them.
Right.
We've got an arts and crafts room specifically set aside every year and things like that.
Mm-hmm. I guess still continuing on this, is there anything like you're doing differently from previous years concerning kids, and I guess in other ways, like changes and improvements to the convention in general?
Changes and improvements, I don't know what I can say on that one, so I'm going to skip over that. I do know that there are going to be a couple of really cool changes when it comes to the main stage. I will say that. When it comes to the kids, we're still just going to keep focusing. We're going to keep focusing on that. I don't know any specifics, but I will find. I know I will find out about them about 3 weeks before, as the events list comes out. So I have to start figuring out what needs to go where when.
Okay, I'm not sure if you totally can answer this one, but the convention, okay, it's happening on the last weekend of May this year versus where the last 2 years it was on Independence Day weekend. Was this a conscious decision, or were there just like circumstances beyond your guys' control that kind of forced the move?
I believe that it was a conscious decision, but I am not in that portion of the decision-making process,
Okay.
so I can't say for certain.
Okay.
But I will say that being on the 4th of July weekend was seen by even convention goers as non-conducive to the best convention experience.
Yeah, I have to agree. I do prefer this in May, so I hope you guys
Oh yeah,
continue this.
especially because last year 4th of July was the Friday.
Yeah.
That did not help at all.
Yeah, traffic was kind of scary.
Oh, yeah. Especially right by the airport.
Oh yes, yeah, airport travel's a nightmare. So, okay. So I guess moving on to your guest list, I'm seeing you guys got managed to get several big names.
Yeah, we just keep bringing them on. I mean, earlier today we announced that we've got we have the voice actor for Starlight Shimmer coming in. So that's a great one. That
Kelly
is Kelly Sheridan. We've had John Delancey announced for quite some time. We've got both the Royal Sisters, Nicole Oliver and Tabitha St. Germain, and our list, I believe, has potential to grow even further. I'm not exactly certain on that, but I would not be surprised. Oh, we also have Jason Thiessen and Big Jim,
Of course, yes, the directors.
the directors, and Bonnie Zachary,
Yeah,
creator of the My Little Pony line back in the '80s.
That's got to be odd. Just like, oh yeah, you're here. You haven't been involved with this thing for a while, but could
Hi.
you come to our convention?
Yeah, kind of.
So, yeah, I guess it's just like, I guess Kelly Sheridan kind of is like surprising me. I'm seeing all these conventions, including you now, announcing her, and she only just appeared on the show less than a month ago. And it's like, wow, you guys worked fast.
And well, I mean, she's been announced as a voice act as
That's right.
being on the show for a while, and so I would guess that all the conventions were at least had inroads to contacts, and then when her character was as much of a hit as it was, hey, we want you.
Well, it seems like she's happy to do it because
Yeah.
I think 4 or 5 now she's appearing at.
I want to say that sounds about right. BronyCon, I want to say.
Yeah, they just announced it too.
BronyCan, I think.
Yes,
but
I think
not
that
certain. And I don't remember. I think there's another one, but I can't remember who.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah. So I guess getting guests is just kind of a
It's
bit
always
of a process in itself.
it's always fun. Yeah.
And of course, there's always the person who's always like, well, why didn't you get so and so? Well,
Sometimes you don't get everything you want. This is going to go out to everybody. This is part of their job. They are getting paid for this. The convention pays for them. There's a reason you have to pay for the autographs as well. That's part of their job when they're not talking into a microphone to make wonderful pastel equines that we listen to. I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, like the whole, like, I guess that's another thing is like people don't realize just how much money and effort goes into making a convention happen.
Yeah.
They seem to think it's super easy, so they ask like really weird questions like, why don't you do this or whatever, because it costs like several $1,000s.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember that. Particularly with Everfree, like a lot of people were asking initially that first year, like, why aren't you in the convention center? It's like,
Like the one up in Seattle.
yeah,
No.
No, that's- I
If you've looked at the rental, I think it's like you have to almost guarantee 10K people a day to even have a chance
And
of
that's not
making it,
happening.
and that just won't happen. At least not for a little while. I mean, if the show gains even more popularity and continues to steamroller, it might. But there is no guarantee of that. The thing is, a lot of media, there's no guarantee of anything.
right. It's always that they always have to take that gamble, just hope.
Yep. And I mean, and Everfree was initially conceived to be 500 to 800 people.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was, I mean, there's a joke in the staff. A convention's so nice it sold out thrice. Because we did manage to, we sold out three different times, because we added on the second hotel, and then we rearranged things to get another about 150 badges possible, which was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I was part of that second really. I didn't get my badge to the second time you open it up, so.
Yeah, I got mine like within the last 100 of the first time through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about popular.
Indeed.
So I guess a little bit towards the future, not a whole lot, but I guess I assume you guys are at least thinking about keeping going after this year. I mean, I don't think you just call it quits out of nowhere unless things were really dire. I know you can't officially say anything, but
I am going to neither confirm nor deny,
right.
but I'm going to say that if I were a convention goer, I would definitely expect another year after this one.
Right.
I'm going to go with that.
Okay. Well,
I don't know any details about the future. I honestly know very few details about this year because I'm halfway across the nation until, I mean, I graduate on Mother's Day with my degree in computer science, and I'm back in Seattle 2 weeks before the convention itself.
Sounds like it's gonna be a busy time for you.
Oh yeah.
So I also I guess real quick, getting back to your guests, I also noticed you guys have a pretty strong actual community guest presence as well. I mean,
yep.
That's another thing. It's like some people argue about which more important, community or the show staff, and you guys seem to strike a good balance between the two.
That's kind of the idea. It especially started when we joined forces with Pony Stock. Pony Stock was originally supposed to be its own separate thing down in California, in the Anaheim area, I want to say, around the same time as Everfree Northwest. But then Derpidity, who was running that, got in contact with Everfree, or Everfree got in contact with Derpidity, and we joined forces in that. And that's really where our first community guest presence came. A lot of the musicians that year we had Mike, we had Mando, we had I've got the poster up here on my wall. I can read through it. My wall is Pony in my room.
Oh,
my roommate scared sometimes, to be honest.
I don't blame him. There's a reason why I don't allow people in my office.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I guess that's all the questions I really have. Is there anything particular you want to plug besides the convention, like personally?
Personally, if anybody in the Seattle area is looking for software developers, I'm available. I know Java, C, ASP.NET, and C#. The other thing I would kind of like to plug is I work in a radio station here at college, and I actually have my own radio show, the Friday Tech Hour with David Camp. So that is Twitter, it's Friday Tech WDC, and Facebook, it's Friday Tech WDC. So if you would go ahead and give that a look, I'm going to be setting up a Google Drive or a repository of some sort with my previous episodes in the next couple of weeks here. So that'll be really cool.
All right, so I guess that's it. Thank you for coming on to the podcast.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I hope you guys will go to Everfree, because I can speak personally. Very fun every single year, so I'm pretty sure this year will be no different.
Come to the Northwest. We have ponies.
All right, so that brings us to the end.
Yeah, no fan content.
No fan content. We don't have time, so unfortunately.
Blame
Maybe
Fusion.
next week. So yes. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear past, future, present episodes, you can. All of our episodes are on pony411.libsyn.com, so go there and check that out.
It's got a new look.
Yeah, we got a whole new look. How do you guys like that? Go ahead and let us know. You can also find us on iTunes. Search for Pony411. Find us there, subscribe, and have it auto-download and all that sort of fancy stuff. You can also find us on Stitcher.com. Search for us there, or use the mobile apps on your smartphone or whatnot. You can also find us on YouTube if you don't want to download anything. YouTube.com/Pony411. So go subscribe to us there, like our videos, leave us comments, whatever. You can also listen to us on Ponyville FM. We air there every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're also now listed on the Ponyville Live site. So
PonyvilleLive.com.
Yeah, whenever we update They'll show up there.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to contact us, you can. If you want to email us, we are pony411podcast@gmail.com. So send us comments, criticisms, questions, whatnot. Tell us we suck, tell us we're awesome. Whatever, we can take it. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/pony411. Like us there, leave us comments. We'll post whenever we post a new episode or whatnot. So you can also find us on Twitter. We are at pony411. So follow us, tweet us, listen to us tweet.
Occasionally there's nonsense.
Occasionally. Mostly there's, well, occasionally. Yeah, occasionally there's nonsense. You can also find us on our personal Twitters. I am at Alca7raz with an underscore at the end and a 7 instead of a T. Nemesis is at NemesisPrime1. And 4String runs a TrotCon Twitter.
It's at TrotCon.
At TrotCon.
Yeah. Yeah, 90% of the time it's me tweeting from that. So if you ever want to say hi, just don't, because I'll probably not respond. But just kidding, I will. I respond to everyone, but yeah.
You might respond with a picture of Paul Blart.
That's very possible. I was going to make the Twitter account all Paul Blart for April Fools, and I just forgot, and I really dropped the ball this year, guys. But I'll figure out something better for next year.
Don't you mean drop them all?
Drop them. That was horrible. You should feel bad.
Hey.
Anyway, that's all we have for tonight. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you listen next week.
Yes.
And until then, please pony responsibly.
Bye.
See ya.
See you.
The synopsis for that comic reads... Let me try that one again.
See what I mean?
See, I always screw these things up.
Do it live!
Oh, God.